Yes, we're rocking. We're rocking. Yes. Gonna just do a quick stream. Quick stream. Get a few people on. Let's go. Let's go. Who's in the house? Who's in the house? Manny, what's the bleeding story?
You know the story. So far, we're 5-star, and I'm happy with the process, but not trusting it just yet.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Central, what's the crack?
Good. Um, I found the game a bit boring, but glad we got a win.
Yeah, yeah. Look, Manny, I'll start with you, mate. I don't even know who did they give man of the match to?
It's a tough one. No, it's not a tough one. Gabriel Martinelli.
No, it's Gabriel Jesus. It's Jesus, man.
Is it? Yeah, they gave it to him, did he?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Fair enough.
They did give it to him, but for me, Martinelli should have been, man of the match for me because Jesus did tire. Yeah, look, the thing about Jesus is that he starts off wonderfully. He's an absolute, a real pest, really, not just a fox in the box, but an absolute pest. And he obviously put some defenses under pressure, and that goal he scored was pure opportunism. But when it comes to being able to create some chances and try to inspire some action going forward, you can't look really much further than Gabriel Martinelli. He obviously had a free kick which was saved by Martinez in that first half, which was going into the top corner, but our second ex-keeper in 2 weeks, pushed it over the bar for a corner. And obviously that second goal as well was quite well done. Hit against the ground, deceived Martinez with the bounce, and it went in. And so he was there for the whole 90 minutes. He was the one who, did more to make things happen. And really, he should have been given the man of the match. But in any case, I will tell you right now, the decision to start Martinelli over Eddie Nketiah is perfectly justified because of his clinicality, his hard work, his footballing intelligence. Eddie Nketiah simply isn't fit to lace his boots. And they gave that bugger the 14 jersey and a 100,000 quid contract a week. Go figure. But on the negative side, obviously, I thought Sambi Lokonga did quite well in the midfield in the absence of Partey. But it is another reminder that we do need to strengthen a little bit because we do definitely need some midfield cover. And the fact that we so far El Neni and Lokonga didn't do too badly, have not done too badly, but we can't be in a situation where we need to rely on them. And when we come up against the likes of Manchester United and other teams, you're going to bet that we're going to need some cover. And that game at Old Trafford will be one for the ages, as I will say later. But I think I've said what I wanted to say so far. So, so far, I'm happy. 5 out of 5. I'm a happy chappy.
Yeah, yeah. Like, I suppose, look, we should have had about 3 or 4 goals easily, especially in the first half. First, I'd say 15, 20 minutes, we were really battering them, it was absolutely excellent football. I thought Mings, what did you think of that challenge where he basically just picked up Saka and just threw him, Central, do you think, there should have been sort of a penalty there, would you even shout, or what do you think?
Yeah, I think that was a penalty. I seen. I think it was Mings who put his hands on Saka, and yeah, that was that was like should be a penalty, but Saka he was decent in that game. Like, I'm gonna be honest, like I fell asleep in this, like the little bolt to the second match. I was in the second half. Sorry, I was falling asleep. Like Villa, they had chances. They had chances in the first half.
Yeah. Like, what did you make of the starting 11? Like, were you happy, or would you have paid Martin, or as Manning said there, put on Eddie Nketiah, or give Martinelli a rest, or were you happy with that, or?
Fine. See, it's I don't mind. It was okay. It's, Ben White is a right back. Jesus, Martinelli. That's a good. like I like Martinelli and Jesus. That's some chemistry.
Mm,
I think like the field is very thin, to be honest.
yeah. I'll just read out a few of these comments there just as they're building up. Good man, Alan. Thanks a million for popping by, mate. Big up there. Send the money, Arteta and Edu. We need more. Yeah, I think we do, definitely. Our midfield is getting short. When Odegaard went down there, I never thought I'd hear myself say this, ever even fucking think about it. But I was getting very nervous because I think, another midfielder loss will be very, very hurtful to us. Big up, Paul. How you doing, pal? Hope you're doing well. Hope everything's all right in Wales. Static, how you doing, mate? Hey, Joe boy and panel. Jez Collins in the house. Manny, your volume's a bit low. Sure you'll sort that out. Nippon's in. What's the crack? What's the bleeding story, Nippon? What's the story with Chelsea? I'll get the other two guests on here. Stephen, what's the crack, mate?
That's a real 14 shirt. Like, to any dumb Arsenal fans that think Eddie Nketiah is good enough, you don't.
Yeah.
Like, if you can't find someone as good as him, just retire the number. So, but
What?
yeah, I think the first half was like the same as first half of the Fulham game. To be honest, we were dominating possession. I didn't think we had as many chances as we did in the Fulham game. But I did get a sense as like Aston Villa weren't really troubling us. Really, I didn't see much of what their game plan was, and you could see the goal was coming, and then the goal did come. But I was always skeptical that we needed a second. As much as Saliba's improved our defence, it ain't exactly like it's not like the Great Wall of China. It can easily fall down like just blowing down wind. Anyway, but like the second half got on the way, and I said 10 minutes in, can't we just make? Because it went for me. The second half went flat. The second half went really, really flat. We didn't really seem to be creating much. Aston Villa didn't seem to be creating much either, and I thought we need something to finish off this game. I thought Smith Rowe needed to come on probably earlier than he should to try and see if we could finish the game off. But again, he went for that right back swap for Tomiyasu for Ben White. If you're so worried about bringing Ben White off early, right, for Tomiyasu, why don't you just play Tomiyasu? He's a natural right back. Right? Or play Suarez, he's a natural right back. But their goal, I have got no problem with any Arsenal fan that says that was impeding the goalkeeper. What? Is he not allowed to stand in front of the goalkeeper now? I'm sorry, Ramsdale should be doing better than that. For me, the guy just stands his ground, and but after that, we immediately respond quickly with Martinelli. So, but again, it's like I saw in the Fulham game. It's like I saw in the Leicester game. Just like we have these lapses in concentration. And especially with our midfield now, as it is, I do worry about going into the Manchester United game, despite the fact they've got to bring Casemiro into the fold, Anthony into the fold, and try and get them playing straight away. Like that midfield is very susceptible, and I don't think we're gonna have much joy in that game. To be honest, this is going to be our first test because this is our first real test coming up. And by the way things are, it's been well, but it's not being completely convincing. But for me, it does see a lot of the same mistakes from last season.
Yeah.
Still.
Barnav, I'll go to you, mate. How are you keeping, pal? Thanks for dropping by.
Yeah, man. Del Boy, it's good to be back on this show. I've always missed these like post-match reactions. It always tends to be very balanced. So, as far as the game goes, yeah, I think we did what we were supposed to do. I think we dominated that game. Villa were terrible, man. I can see why their fans are like giving them so much a smack for like not playing up to their potential. I mean, the first 70 minutes, like I think we were definitely better. Their goal after that, it became like a little bit of a roller coaster. Because like they scored and then like Steven said, like I think like their goal was kind of well deserved actually when you think about it. You can't give up like an Olympico goal, which is like from the corner. The other part is like, but we were deserved winners, in my opinion. We did what we were supposed to do. We dominated the game. But it's still like come Sunday, like I that's gonna be an end-to-end game like last year at Old Trafford. I think I can see that happening, like where with the Ronaldo hat trick, like 3-2 last year, it could be the same. I can see that game going the same way.
Yeah, I do as well. Like I think it's going to be very open. Like you know what I mean. As Stephen says there, with Casemiro having to come in, probably trying to gel him into a position, like you know, but they have to do that. You know, the only thing I will be fearful is with Sambi Lakonga. Like you
Yeah.
know, I'm not very comfortable with that. Being honest with you, AFC. How are you doing, pal? How are you keeping? What you think of the game?
Yeah, I think we played well today. I think there was mistakes, i.e., I think we should have got at least a second goal in the first half. I think Saka missed 2 open goals, which wasn't very good. I think their goal, I don't want to complain, but it's impediment. I don't know what the referee was thinking about that, but I think we didn't play brilliantly. I think we lost the midfield. I think it seems like we're missing Partey. It's similar mistakes than in the Fulham game, where the midfield can't control anything, which I think is a major problem for us. I do worry about the United game. I think we may lose that game. I think it's going to be a big test for our title challenge.
Title challenge.
Yeah. It is going to be the hardest challenge I think we have, because like the whole Liverpool game, when I was watching that, it just flipped them. Like they were like a coin. They were useless up until that game, and that has just given them so much energy now. It's given them so much belief, and that frightens me, being honest with you, especially when it's coming up to Old Trafford. You know what I mean? Manny, what do you think of the Old Trafford game? Like, do we have a chance now with our midfield like this?
Yeah, one thing which I'm going to disagree with Oliver on is actually the fact that when it came to our midfield, especially in the first half, we actually seemed to be doing a lot more in terms of pressing and forcing the Villa midfielders to be a little bit clumsy with some of their passing and also their footwork. And it really made me happy to see that the pressing style quite worked. But, of course, there might have been 1 or 2 moments where we looked to have been out-muscled off the ball. And certainly, as I mentioned to Stephen earlier on his stream, we do face the prospect of Casemiro and Fred coming into the midfield for Manchester United. So that could certainly be interesting, because with Casemiro, you've got a proven winner, one of the best defensive midfielders in the world. It will be interesting to see how he can and Fred and Eriksen together. Did I say Fred? My bad. Please forgive me. It was a Freudian slip. Well, Freudian slip. Freudian slip, let's call it that. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Eriksen and Casemiro together can sort of nullify that midfield, and certainly both of them have much better footwork, and they can certainly, do a lot to try and nullify the high press. And it's also going to be interesting to see, therefore, if our high press does get nullified, does Arteta have a plan B? Will he be able to get the team playing well on the counter-attack? So far in all of our 5 games, we've been pressing and we've been scoring goals. And the pattern seems to be just score 1 or 2, or maybe 1, and then sit back and let them come at us, and then we catch them on the counter. It's worked so far, but again, we need to keep in perspective the opposition we've played, and certainly a Manchester United team which is continuing their resurgence under Ten Hag and should very well beat Leicester tomorrow. They're going to be a tough proposition. So it's when we start playing the bigger boys in the league that we're going to be tested. And that is when Arteta will have to earn his bread and see if his tactics will be spot on. I do worry about the prospect of replacing either Jesus or Martinelli with Eddie Nketiah. Today it was, all running, and a poor final touch and nothing much else. And we pay this fella £100,000 a week and give him the number 14 jersey, as I've said. Sorry, not for me. Get yourself another forward, Mikel. You need to do better than that. But it will be interesting, and it's certainly going to be a game for the ages. The battle could very well be won in midfield and also on the substitutes bench. bench.
Yeah, yeah, no, I know. I just want to read out here. Alan says Casemiro will bully us in the midfield. Yeah, I have to agree with you 100%, mate. Joe, how are you? Hope you're doing good, mate. Prince is in the house. What's the bleeding story, mate? I'll be giving you a DM. Yeah, I have some news for you. We are winning, mate. Exactly. Look, we're winning. I'm happy. We cannot be happy. Like, you know what I mean? Arteta, in fairness to him, whatever you hate and you love him. But look, we've 5 games. We've matched
Al,
them.
did he say that we were winning or whining it?
Yeah.
Winning.
We're whining.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but here, Central, I'm going to come to you, mate. What you make of Shaka today? I thought the first half he was just outstanding. I have to say, look, and I look if you watch my shit that I do on this, I'm always giving out about him. But I put my hands up. The first half he was absolutely brilliant. Central man, what do you think?
Shaka, yeah, he did well. Not really a huge Shaka fan, and I didn't really pay attention for the rest of the second half. I was fell asleep, but yeah, like Shaka, he's not my favorite, but I think he did had a good game. You know, is he going to show up against Manchester United on Sunday? Is he going to bully Casemiro, or I don't think so. Yeah. Depends if Shaka is going to turn up. Like if people think he's world class, you know, Casemiro's world class. It's sink or swim. You know,
Yeah.
but yeah. On the flip side, yeah, he did well. It was my bonus point.
Mm. Yeah, I'll just read out one or two of these comments. You ain't doing nothing. I'm doing the Conor McGregor. They're doing nothing. Evening, Del Boy. These injuries are adding up. Yes, they are, man. How you doing, mate? Thanks for dropping by. But Stephen, what do you think of that? What Martin's saying? The injuries are adding up. What do we need? Especially for the United game coming up. Are we going to be weak in midfield? Is that going to be an area that United are going to really hammer into us?
Oh well, we don't need anything. We're winning, aren't we? Like Jesus, we're top of the league, right? Like we're winning. We got Fabio Vieira in there. We got the Conga. He's also supposed to be that support for Granit Xhaka and Partey. So yeah, we don't need any midfielders. I mean, what are you on about? Of course, like some people said that we were going to get top 4 last season, and that didn't happen, did it? Yeah. Look. Look. In the end, we need a new centre midfielder. We need a new right back, right? Because Ben White is shit. I'm sorry. I don't give a stuff what anyone thinks. The guy looks good at the minute because he's got Saliba holding his hand, right? Saying, "Don't worry, I've got you." Right? It's okay. Right, Saliba's clearing up half the mess. Right, you'll see it when Saliba's got something to do with, which is maybe Haaland or something like that. When we go face these teams, that here Saliba will be too busy doing that Ben White will be exposed. Right, and yeah, but look, I've said this so many times. We need Arsenal fans have sat there all this window and bigged this window up. Yet we still haven't got the main thing we need. And they all say it. Every Arsenal fan, even the most delusional of Arteta fans, right? All the time I hear it is that we need a midfielder. We need a midfielder. And these are Arteta fans saying it themselves. So why haven't we done it then? Why haven't we done it? Why haven't we bought a new right back? Right? I'm sorry, Ben White's not good enough. And no one's going to convince me otherwise. Right? And look, we should have had this done before the season started. So why hasn't it been done? Right? Why hasn't it been done? right? Because I'll tell you what, if Anthony and Casemiro were bought by Man United a lot earlier, right, I would be shitting myself over that game. The only reason I've got some sort of confidence is because they may be like, well, we don't really know what to expect from Casemiro, and knowing that he's a quality DM, but he's got to fit in a new system, in a new team, same as Anthony will have to. It would be literally his first or second game in, right? I mean, Man City, for example, their first 2 games, right, first 3 games, was all about getting Haaland to adjust and this, that, and all the other. Now look at what Haaland's doing. Now he's been there 5 games in, right?
Yeah.
He's destroying teams left, right, and centre. So it's about this is why you have pre-season. So when you bring new signings in, you integrate them into the squad, right? So you're ready for the season. Yes, we're more prepared than we were last season, but we still weren't ready, right? And this is why we're not ready. It's all right beating these teams. I expect to beat these teams. I expected 15 points out of these 5 games, because if we need to be serious and we were talking serious about top 4, then we should be beating teams like that. Right? No disrespect to them, but that's what we should be doing, right?
Mhm.
So, like, I'm not going on the massive hype train, right? I'm happy with one of my first 5 games. Don't get me wrong, right? But in the end, Tottenham are still a massive threat. So are Liverpool. So are Man City. Chelsea are a bit. If they're on their day, they can be just as deadly. Right? And Man United. Well, we don't know what the Man United are going to be like. Right? From 5 games in to 15 games in, because they're on a complete new, different manager and a complete new, different way of thinking. Right? So, right, but hey, what do we know? Like, like, and as
Do you,
much as as
sorry,
much
go
as
on.
anyone, sorry, just say this, and as much as anyone might think that Tottenham are crap, yeah. So why the fuck did they finish top 4 then, when they were 8th in March? Oh yeah, because we bottled it. Look in the
Okay.
mirror first.
Look, Stephen, I know you have to pop off. Do you want to just give a shout out to your channel there, mate?
Yeah, I mean, I've got probably another 5 minutes, so
All
I
right,
can
yeah,
do
yeah.
another 5.
Yeah. Look, I'll go to you, Bargav. Stephen sort of touched on it there
Oh,
about the right back.
sorry, Farad, make this very clear. This is me being realistic. I'm not gonna be this positive, deluded crap, right? If you want to be positive, that's fine, right? I'm being realistic, and realistically, right, we're not ready yet, right? And we need to bring more signings in, otherwise we are still going to be struggling for top 4. If you don't like it, sorry.
I don't even know what I haven't looked at the comments there yet, but I was just going to go to Bargav on the right back position.
Yeah.
Do you think that Arteta is having sort of second thoughts on Ben White there, the way he's probably put on Tommy Atkins? Do you think that he's thinking that towards the Old Trafford game?
No, I see. This is a tough one because I think that's the okay. So, if you're Man United, it's gonna be what, Jadon Sancho playing there most likely.
Mm-hmm.
I think Tommy Asu might come in, but just to take it. But at the same time, I don't know. It's a tough one because it has worked against Zaha, so he might look at that and be like, just keep it the same. I don't think he's going to tinker with that one actually. Just the way Arteta works, he trusts his players and keeps them there. Anyway, I do got to go because I got to go to the other side of town.
Yeah.
But to echo what Steven said, we got to get signings in, man. I'm really worried about that. I mean, tomorrow is going to be massive. I mean, I guess right now, what are we still linked to like Zaha and like Tielemans? If either one of them don't come in, it's kind of a worry actually. Like I don't care if it's who comes in at this point. We need some bodies in those positions, and especially with like if you look at October and if you look at like even September with that, like it's like 14 days. We got 5 games, and October is like October is like a bad one. We need players. at this point. Like, and we can't rely on anybody. There's still a lot of worry with this team. For me personally, I think the season starts now. Happy with the 5 wins out of 5, though. You can anytime it happens, it's hard to do that. It's hard to do that. So you got to give it up to them for now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, no, look, mate, thanks a million for dropping in. Really do appreciate it. You
Catch you
know,
next time. Have a good show. I'll watch it back on playback.
Yeah, good, mate. Thanks a million.
Yeah,
Take care.
there. Thanks for coming on, mate.
Yeah.
Right. AFC. What do you reckon of the United game? Are you fearful about the midfield, or what do you think? Do you think we can do a job with them?
I feel like I doubt we're gonna win. I feel like we're not gonna be able to control midfield. I think without Partey, we're gonna massively struggle because we can't seem to control the midfield. The Conga isn't brilliant. Xhaka can't really carry him there much. So I kind of worry about it. I think if we can do a job there, that'll be massive for us. But I do worry.
Yeah, I know. Look, by the way, Oliver, I wasn't laughing at you. I'm just laughing at the fella underneath me here, Fulham fan TV.
They're staying up, mate. They're staying up.
What do you think of the game today, Connor?
Do you know what? They had me on the edge of my seat, honestly. I thought they were absolutely brilliant most of the time. I think the first 45 was honestly brilliant. I think, yes, which is what we normally do. We did unfortunately dip off a bit in the second half, and we went to defending, and it was like, okay, where's this gone now? This whole attacking threat in the first half. I think one lesson we've definitely got to take from this game is we've got to be more clinical in front of goal. We could have been 3-4-0 up by half time.
Saka's miss.
And yeah, that was bad. That was like Salah the other day against Bournemouth. Like that was bad.
Do you remember Fernando Torres at Old Trafford?
Yeah, literally. But it's the thing is, right, you could be bad with your right foot, but Jesus Christ, if it's your weak foot, you can still put that in the back of the net, mate. It's a wide open goal. But listen, I don't want to take any negatives. It was a brilliant performance. We're top of the league, mate. I'm loving it right now. I'm pissing off all my other mates, different clubs, Liverpool, United, Chelsea. I'm giving it. I'll get humbled soon, probably. But I'm loving it right now. And
you'll probably get humbled on Sunday, mate. That's probably what happens.
Exactly. But listen, that'll be the first one where I think people start taking us serious if we win that. I think I know it's United, but they beat Liverpool the other week. I think if we beat them, we'll definitely get a bit of like, oh look, Arsenal are really on something. So fingers crossed we can put in a performance. I was a bit worried actually at the end of the game that Ramsdale had an injury, because if he had an injury, by God, we'd be fucked, to put it bluntly. Our backup goalie is not good from what I saw in pre-season. And when I saw Odegaard with an injury, I thought, oh God, here we go. And now we're going to have injuries upon injuries, and our backups aren't great. But listen, we take away the 2-1. Got to give credit to Douglas Luiz. Bloody hell. I was on my feet for that goal. What a goal from the corner flag, by the way. But listen, we take away the 3 points, we move on to Man United. So brilliant performance overall.
Yeah, Manny, I'll just come to you there. Do you want to just give everyone the good news or bad news or whatever you want to think?
Yeah, it's not so much good news, but I just checked BBC Sport. Liverpool have scored a last-minute winner to beat Newcastle. They were behind for most of the game, but in the last half hour they came to life. So, they're coming back too. I mean, you never know what you can do until you spank a team 9-0 and get their manager sacked. And it looks as though they seem to have found... not only they've rediscovered a new formation up front, but they've also seemed to have gotten their ability to grind out results. So this is another thing. I mean, we are top 5 wins out of 5, but City are still snapping at our heels, and they are taking no prisoners with Haaland and company. And
Jesus.
Liverpool, United are coming back. Chelsea are slipping, though. I mean, that is that's good for us, certainly. I mean,
It depends what happens in the next 48 hours, mate. If they get Aubameyang and De Jong in like they've been planning, then it changes everything.
No, I'm going to disagree with that, Stephen, because here's the thing. Ever since Kante's injury and now Conor Gallagher being sent off and suspended, their midfield has actually looked quite light. And so it's in central midfield, as we can all agree, the battles are won and lost. I mean, we're seeing it with Partey, although Lokonga did have a good game. And obviously, without Kante and the team being their driver, they look a little bit lost. And what Gallagher did was just stupid in every way. So who can they possibly bring on? And so in that situation, you want to go after Aubameyang, that's fine by me. You want to go after De Jong, do whatever you can. But then how are you going to plug those gaps in midfield? What are you going to do with regard to the team stability? And it seems as though Chelsea could be bitten by our bug of, just buying players for the positions in which we don't need strengthening and leaving themselves weak in the middle. And if you leave yourself weak in the middle, then, you're asking for trouble. So all I'm saying is that, yes, Chelsea is still in crisis, but some other teams are coming back. So we need to take a little bit of perspective from all of this and see and realize that we have made mistakes. We do need to cut them out. And a lot of people are blaming Ramsdale for the corner. That really was a huge piece of luck, but there should have been some better defending for that. At least one man at the near post to guard that. And there's still so many things we can improve on. And if we don't improve on these things, these champion teams will definitely, come and beat. They're going to rip us apart. They're going to take advantage of those mistakes because that's what champion teams do. So we need to watch our backs because we can't go look too far ahead.
Yeah, we'll have to.
Central man, I'm just going to come to you. Just on what I just seen what Boyd is saying here. United will be more scared of us. Would you agree with him?
No, not really. Depending if United showing up, it's like they're starting to get their form. They lost 2 games, then they won 2 games, and people think we're going for the title. You got another thing coming. Look, our bubble is going to burst anytime soon, man. This is the predictable starting lineup for us on Sunday. It'd be like it'd be Ramsdale, White, Gabriel, Saliba, Tierney because Zinchenko is injured. Xhaka, Zambi, probably Saka, Martinelli, Jesus. Missing something. United will probably play. They got that was it Lisandro Martinez? He's starting to be a good defender. They got Varane. They're dropping Maguire. They're dropping Ronaldo. That's a load of crap about Ronaldo's leaving. He ain't leaving. Rashford, he's gonna end up turning into a prime fucking Wayne Rooney or prime Henry if he shows up on Sunday. Going to Old Trafford is a bit funny. Like we won 1 win in 17 because we kept struggling against United at Old Trafford. It's funny. Our record against Manchester United in the league is like in that if at Old Trafford they end up like drawing or losing, and by the time the reverse fixture at the Emirates they end up winning. It's like it's a bit people think oh we don't people think we're gonna beat it's just like because we're both in that crap cycle. People we're both some of these I'm not gonna diss United fan base. I got mates who's Man United fans, but they think like they grew up with the Fergusons and the Wengers, like with the leading fan bases, you can't but I'm getting off the topic, but I think my prediction for Sunday, I think this is gonna be a draw.
Yeah, I'm just still. I have to sort of see what we're going to do in the transfer window, tomorrow or whatever. And just to even answer Dave's question, big up, Dave. How you doing, pal? And Del Boy, do you think Arsenal will pull off a late transfer? I think if the whole Maitland-Niles, if he goes, I think they'll have to get another midfielder in. They'll have to replace these guys.
He's already gone. He's gone to Southampton on loan.
He is gone, is it? Yeah. Did he sign the extension contract? They were saying, I heard that he's getting a 1-year extension if he goes on loan. So. Yeah,
I don't know.
I saw something about 2024. I don't know what that. I didn't read it properly. Something about 2024.
I heard before he was going out on loan that they were giving him a 1 year extension, so they'll make money off the
Yeah.
loan, something like that. Stephen, you have to go now. So, Stephen, I'm just saying you have to go.
Yeah, I was just going to address a few things first. By the way, any fan who expects, who predicts, or thinks that we may lose the game can still fucking celebrate if we win. Right? You're not the frigging fucking fan police. Right? Plus, you're going on about Liverpool, Chelsea, Man United, like they're not going to improve over a season. Right? That is all. Well, like, why the like? But at the same time, you're then taking it game by game. But you're writing all these other teams off. You're writing Tottenham, all these other teams off, but yet you want to take it game by game. Well, why aren't you taking it game by game with everyone else then? Right? Makes no sense. But yeah, that's the one thing that I've just noticed in the chat. It really wind me up because, right, whether I'm Arteta out or you're Arteta in, whether you're Cronky in, Cronky out, Xhaka out, whatever, right? Whether you really think we're just going to absolutely totally shit for the season, right, and think we're going to lose every game, it doesn't mean you cannot celebrate if we win, right? For example, do you really think Bournemouth were going to go to Anfield and win, right? No, they'd all think they're thinking we'll probably lose about 4-0, right? Something like that. But if they scored a goal and if they did win, are you thinking like they wouldn't celebrate? Of course they would. Like, sorry. Like, and the reason Man United, why we should fear Man United, here's one. Eric Ten Hag. Better than Mikel Arteta. Simple. He made Liverpool look stupid when everyone wrote him off. Right? Second of all, right? Casemiro, Varane, Rashford's hit form, Sancho's hit form, right? Martinez, quality players. Simple as that, right? But the main thing is because Eric Ten Hag is a tactical manager who knows what he's doing. He is an elite manager that knows what he's doing, right? And you still ain't convinced me this guy that we've got is any good. I mean, not going to convince me otherwise unless you challenge us for a league. Right? And anyone that thinks we're in a title race, wake up. Like, yes, we won 5 games out of 5, but that, come on, this is a Palace side. A Palace side that was probably our strongest test. Right? Bournemouth should be easy, should have actually scored 6. Fulham shouldn't be conceding a goal, to be honest. That was stupid. Right? That's the only reason they got in the game. Villa, which we shouldn't, like, you know, so yeah, those 5 games I expected 15 points. Simple as that. Right? This is our first test, and if we lose at Old Trafford, what's gonna? Don't tell me the ball's not right, the grass ain't green, right? The sky ain't blue, right? Something, there'll be some reason or excuse, I don't know, right? I love to hear the excuses afterwards, right?
Oh, that got
But
me.
in the end,
That got me because that's an actual excuse. A lot of us.
mate, but in the end, I don't care, right? If you predict Arsenal to lose and they win, you're still allowed to celebrate,
100%.
right? It's just you having a realistic opinion about what's going on in the club, right? This is why I'm not jumping down the hype train and thinking we're in the title race or being ultra positive, right? I'm being realistic. If people might want to find that bit negative, then fine. I'm keeping my feet firmly on the ground, right? But that's my opinion, right? That's my opinion. Right? You have yours, you have mine. You don't tell me I don't back my team, I don't back my club, and don't tell me I can't celebrate it.
No, that's fair enough. Your point is taken on board. Your point is taken. Stephen, I'll let you give me a shout out your channel there.
Yeah, make sure you hit the like and subscribe here, by the way. Yeah, if you want to hear me talk more rubbish and actually talk about real players, like real 14 shirts, that is, make sure you go check out SVT TV. We do all Arsenal and Premier League content as well, not just Arsenal. If you see the intro, big up Connor for that. Really do appreciate that. And if you like F1 as well, take the TV off SVT, put F1 on the end. You'll find the RF1 channel where I usually moan that Verstappen's winning all the time because Ferrari can't do shit. But there you go. Make sure you check out everyone else as well. Make sure you follow all these guys and subscribe to Del Boy as well because he's quality.
Cheers, mate. Fair play. Thanks a million. I don't want to hold you up for it, and I know you have to pop off there. Thanks a million for coming on.
No worries, mate. Take care.
Cheers, mate. Take care.
Yes, Steve.
I've just got to say something quickly. This Prince Fardray in the chat saying that United isn't a test. Like, they've just gone ahead and beaten Liverpool 2-1. Completely, in my opinion, completely embarrassed them. I thought they'll go ahead and win tomorrow against Leicester. I feel like they're putting together a really good side. And I think saying they're not a test is really putting them against... I just feel like, obviously, United haven't had the best start to the season. I was at that Brentford game 4-0 on Brentford's side. Saying that as if I've got that below me. But I feel like United is a test. United should always be a test. I think one of the biggest fixtures, and I wish I was alive for it, but I wasn't because I was born in 2003. But one of the biggest fixtures back in the early 2000s, before that in the 90s, was Arsenal Man United. All the time, whether Man United are in the Championship, it should always be an important game. So to say they're not really a test, I think it's a load of bollocks. If Ronaldo stays, how can that not be a test? Ronaldo's still, in my opinion, one of the best strikers in the world. As much as he's been given a bit of a negative attitude recently with Man United, you can't write off Cristiano Ronaldo. So I do think, when I do say to my mates, we're going to win the league as a piss take. We're only 5 games in. We're only 5 games in. Like, don't get me wrong. I'd love a league title as much as the next Arsenal fan. Everyone would. You wouldn't walk up to an Arsenal fan and say, "Do you want a league title?" No, mate. They all say yes. But like Manny's saying, don't count your chickens. Let's just go game by game. And saying that these people aren't a test and that person isn't a test and that person isn't a test. Look at Fulham against Liverpool. They put up a fight against them. Everyone thought Fulham would get battered by Liverpool. They didn't. They got the point. So don't write other teams off. No, I confer with what Stephen was saying earlier. Don't underestimate teams. At the end of the day, and so that's what I wanted to say on that.
Yeah, no, I just want to go to Oliver here before I get Morris in. Oliver, do you think Arsenal fans are are we sort of running ahead of ourselves, or do we need to sort of just chill out, take it one game at a time? What's your feeling on it, mate? Oliver, are you there? Hello? I don't think
He's
there.
using stuff, but he must have gone somewhere.
Yeah. Morris, look, I come to you. How are you keeping, buddy? Long time no talk.
Yeah, great to see you, man. You haven't got the pink jersey yet.
Fucking don't start with that.
Yeah, jersey is only for cancer awareness. That's my take on it.
Yeah. But how are you doing, Morris? How are you keeping, mate?
Good, man. Happy enough with the start of the season, but I'm only kind of jumping on there now, and I know I'm pretty much like what you guys were saying. Like, there's bigger tests to come, and obviously the biggest one we've had is Sunday at Old Trafford. Because how long is it since we've won there? Fucking not including FA Cup now. A long time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So September, October are going to be pivotal for us. But still, to have 15 points on the board out of 15, you have to be happy with that start. You know what I mean?
100%. 100%. It's look. For me, it's like, I think Arsenal fans themselves put the pressure on the players. You know what I mean? Oh,
Yeah.
we're winning. What, like, for me, look, I'm going back to, and I'm sure you guys will remember, it's the Invincible season, the season after when United, we went to, oh no, it was actually in Highbury, and Wayne Rooney, I think, scored the goal and the bet is 3-1 or something like that, and it ended the Invincible run. I was fucking devastated. But at the time, everyone thought Arsenal will wipe the floor with United. But as Connor said there, no matter when we play United could be losing every game, and next thing they play Arsenal, they always step it up.
Del, we
100
lost to we lost to fucking Michael Carrick last year. You have to remember that.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Exactly. This is it. This is it. Manny, do you think we're our own worst enemies? Are we?
We could be, yes, Del. Very well said. Cheapy, I don't know what your real name is, but lovely to see you. How are you?
Good man, good. And yourself?
His name is Morris. Morris.
Yeah.
Manny.
Morris. I mean, nice name. Thank you very much. Wonderful to hear that. So to answer your question, Del, yes, we can be our own worst enemy. Because listen, another thing which people forget is that, we've seen this whole thing before in so many seasons. We have a great start, we get ourselves gassed up, and then just when we think things can't go wrong, they always do. It's Murphy's Law. I mean, Murphy must himself have been an Irishman, and maybe, it's nice to mention that, I don't know. But anything that can go wrong will go wrong, and what goes up will come down. And I think it's fair to say that, especially with the injuries to Partey and Zinchenko and now El Neni, we have sort of ridden our luck. Lokonga did have a decent game today, but long term, will he necessarily be the answer? There was talk of sending him out on loan. Thankfully, we decided not to. But it's just an idea that it is another reminder, that whenever things start to go wrong, you've got to be proactive enough to take a look at that and say, you know what, this is this is an area where we have to strengthen. This is something we need to do. And if I were Mikel Arteta, mind you, I would actually be looking to the next game and properly analysing their team and saying, you know what, we need to deal with some of these players. It's very easy to say that, Casemiro will take some time to settle into a new system, but let's bear in mind that he's played for 9 seasons at Real Madrid under a few different managers. I don't think he played under Del Bosque. He might have been there under Mourinho, I don't know. After Ancelotti came 1 or 2 others, then Ancelotti came back. So he's played in a few different systems, but a regular international for Brazil, he will almost certainly be able to slot in, and there's a reason why, they want to sign him, because obviously they've considered Fred and Scott McTominay not quite up to it. So Eriksen and Casemiro together will be a good combination. So Arteta will have to do his homework and some proper tactical analysis. And he also has to look at his squad and say, it's one thing to have some confidence in the squad we have now, but when it's threadbare as it is, we've got to look at it and say, when's the next injury? And every season when we've had a good start, it will be one injury which will derail everything. You'll remember the Eduardo broken leg at Birmingham, and then Gallas throwing a strop and all of that. We've seen this time and time again, and that's the voice of experience. And a lot of these people who are coming in and saying, we've got it this time, Mick Arteta knows exactly what we need. Oh, does he know exactly what we need? I mean, he's got Ben White at the back, he brings on Nketiah in attack, and he thinks we're going to win the Premier League. For Pete's sake. So we've got some work to do, and yes, we can be our own worst enemy. Our fans don't make it any easier. And sometimes I often think that in some cases, the fans, may be to blame a little bit, because they either get their expectations up very high or their expectations can be low. You've really got to make sure that you are consistent enough to say, look, we've got to challenge. We've got to make sure that we are there on the ball from the beginning to the very end and not try and let up. If we do have a small setback, we repair that and move forward. That's what top teams do. And until we display the ability to do that, we can't be considered a top team. So yes, we can be our own worst enemy through our expectations and through our own, we just sometimes don't even bother to learn from our history. So yes, we can definitely be our worst enemy.
Central Man, what do you think? Are we our own worst enemy?
Maybe. Yeah, I hate that. Yeah, like I'm gonna talk about this. For Arteta for this season, I'm glad he gives Saliba and Martinelli the big breaks. Like the way they treated them for the last since Arteta came here, it's a bit disgraceful. I think the reason why they're playing because I think like Edu said about like we're gonna win some trophy. Like the better like back up what they're saying. Like the last 2 seasons, or actually like the last 2 seasons, we won fuck all, man. Like I know we flew the FA Cup, but and these fans don't get carried away. Yeah, we're top. We're not winning on Sunday. And I think and I know Arsenal fans on social media link, they're getting overreacting and gigging about some Ukraine player I never heard of. I'm not gonna pronounce that Ukrainian player's name. Like, never heard of him. Like, no thanks.
Yeah,
Rather
Modric, like that.
Pedro.
Just
Like,
call him the new Neymar, the Uruguayan Neymar, or the Ukraine
what?
Neymar. That's what all the papers are saying.
Neymar? Are you joking? Neymar's a
I'd
better
say-
player. Neymar is the
I'd-
best player than that. He's the best player. Maybe he's not that. He's not that superior. He's still a good player than this Ukraine Neymar. What the hell? What the hell? Like that's mainstream media talking. I don't like that. I hate these top gunners, man. Every time we link to a player that we never heard of, and then these people like jumping on the bandwagon, and then now they're experts of these players. How are these top gunners or Arteta sexuals actually see these players playing? There's none.
Well, look,
Like-
come here. There's a fella after coming into the room, and I'm sure that he'll bleed and tell us all what it's all about. Prince Five.
What's happening, Dal Boy? What's happening, Dal Boy? Do you know what
Oh,
it is?
good, well,
I owe you my brother. You're right, Dal.
rocking and rolling, yeah. Having
you know what makes me laugh? Do you know what? Let me educate some of these people in football. It's time for education because you all talk about Tom Hag. Can I ask you one question? Do you rate McLaren? You know Man United's number 2. Who's Man United's number 2?
Steve McLaren.
Steve McLaren. Thank you very much. Is Steve McLaren a bad boy manager? He's a bad boy manager. Yeah, he is because he won the Dutch league. But you know when Steve McLaren won the Dutch league? Wait there. I'm not going to drop it right there. Steve McLaren won the Dutch league. When he tried coming back into England, he got Middlesbrough relegated. He couldn't even keep ball to West. Do you get me? That's the Dutch league for you.
Like he can't even get England into a major tournament.
And they never won it. They got knocked out by Croatia, didn't they? Doesn't matter. They never did. They win it? Who talks about him getting him in a major competition? Did they win it? No, they never.
It's like,
come on, bro.
He's shit.
Mancini won the Europa League, won the Europa thing, and didn't qualify for the World Cup. Doesn't mean you get me. But he could turn around and said, "Well, I won something for Italy." He can't even say that for England. Come on, bro. You need to.
So look, come here. What's your outcome of the season? Like, what do you think?
I'll be honest with you. This season, Arsenal have showed something they haven't showed for 20 years. Normally, when Arsenal concedes a goal and goes behind, they normally drop their heads. But they've come out and fought for it. It hasn't happened for 20 years. I'm not saying Arsenal are going to win the league. I'm not jumping on a bandwagon. But I'm saying there's something different at the club. They're playing for each other. They're not giving up. You know when we played against Fulham, how many Arsenal fans turned around and said, "Oh, here comes," and bam, we scores again. Today, we conceded in the last, 15 minutes, 75th minute. Bam, we come back and scored again. When was the last time, can you ever believe that Arsenal done that? 20 years ago, when they were invincibles. I'm not saying we're going to win a league.
Look, I do agree with you. And now look at what...
You've got to look at the positive sides. And when people talk about Man United, okay, Man United beat Liverpool. Fair enough, they beat Liverpool. But the reason why Man United beat Liverpool, bro, because it was their cup final. When Man United play Arsenal, he ain't going to motivate the players like he did for Liverpool. And if anything, then players are going to be looking, thinking, bro, we don't really want to play Arsenal, the form they're in. And I know we've got Zinchenko out. But Partey out. Apparently, they should be fit for Sunday because I think Partey's not even out for football reasons. He's out because of that case, they're saying.
I don't know. Manny's shaking his head. Let him come in here. Go ahead, Manny.
You talk about cup finals, Fuad. Last season we had several cup finals. Our North London derby away at the Tottenham Stadium was a cup final. We had a game in hand over them. They needed to win. We were in the ascendancy. Surely there would have been no contest. Result: Tottenham 3.
But the last season there was something. Yeah, okay, I agree with you.
Fuad, I'm sorry, sir. You're going to have to let me finish, and then I'll let you come back in. Thank you very much.
Okay, go
on. Now, we lost that cup final, okay? And it's very easy to say that yes, we've won 5 in a row, we're top, and everything is looking quite rosy. But what we're saying is we will still have bigger tests, and these are teams that we are expected to beat. And look, yes, Fulham and Crystal Palace did draw against Liverpool. You're right. You know what? Brentford beat Manchester United 4-0. What have they done since? They lost to who did they lose to? They lost to Fulham. And they beat Leeds again, but I believe they can only draw. So it just goes to show that there are no necessarily easy games. But then a club of our stature, given the squad we were supposed to have, what we were believed to have, given our aim this season, our aim should always be to try to beat some of these teams. And some of our performances have been good, but what we're saying is that a few mistakes have been made, and all of these top teams, especially the teams that have finished above us last season, they will take advantage of those mistakes. They will punish us for our mistakes, and we're going to feel it. And it's all very well to say that, we've gone behind against Fulham. We came back. We were pegged back today against Villa, and then we came back. But again, we've also got to measure the opposition. There are bigger and better teams and bigger tests to follow, and there are going to be more cup finals. So again, it all depends. What do you want? If we end up not qualifying for the Champions League, and my target is Champions League or bust, will this run at the beginning of the season have been a complete waste? I don't know. I mean, you probably can't say it's a waste. No. You can't say it's a waste. But we're going to be judged on how we perform when it matters, how we perform when the tests are bigger. Last season, we bottled those tests. We had games in hand, we had a points advantage, and we bottled that. And all we had to do in the end, in the words of Mikel Arteta, was shut our mouths and eat them. So this season, we need to make sure that we are tougher. And that with the squad we have, with the injuries we have, you say that if they're fit for Sunday, they should play. If they play, then it's all good. But if they don't play and we end up struggling, then we're going to have some problems. And I hope you will at least be able to accept that it's not quite rosy in the garden until we pass the bigger that come our way.
It's not, okay, you're going back to last season. Last season, there's something called no striker. Last season, you all cried over the... Wait. Last season, we all cried over the striker when he scored 4 goals. But this season, we got a man called Gabriel Jesus. We got a man called Gabriel Jesus who's brought energy to Arsenal. Who's not afraid to go to Old Trafford. If we would have had Jesus last season, it would have been a different story. But Jesus this season is making Arsenal what they are. All right? So we're going into this Old Trafford game. Okay, you're not forgetting. You're not going off last season. Last season, we had that striker who wasn't scoring goals. But this season, we got a striker going into this Old Trafford game who scores goals called Gabriel Jesus. So if you're going to go off last season, keep going off last season, yeah, we bottled it. But then last season, we lost our first 3 games. You all had a meltdown. So you can't just go off last season because this season we won our first 5 games. So your arguments really and truly, if you're going to keep going off last season, it's irrelevant. Because this season, we won for our first 5 games. Last season, what cost us top 4 was our start of the season was poor, the middle of the season was poor, and towards the end, we bottled it. But this season, we're getting the points in the bag. We have got 15 points, 5 out of 5. Going into Old Trafford. As an Arsenal fan, forget your agenda against Arteta. Forget like our agendas. But as an Arsenal fan, I'm not talking about Arteta. I don't care now. I'm talking about Arsenal fan. Shouldn't you be confident going in thinking, you know what? My team, I've gone in there. There's no team easy. Now, if Man City win them first 5 games, you'll all be linked. If Liverpool done it, you'll all be gassed. Because it's Arsenal, oh yeah, Palace, we beat Palace away. Every Arsenal fan that I spoke to wasn't expecting us to beat Palace. We beat Palace away. Every Arsenal fan I spoke to, most of them said we're not going to win 5 games in a row. We're going to draw with Palace, maybe draw with Villa at home. But we've done the job. We've done the business. So you've got to, like, sometimes take credit, give credit to the players. Like today, I'm not saying Lokonga is the answer. But Lokonga performed well today. So me as an Arsenal fan, I will say, well done, respect, professional footballer. He kept Arsenal's run going, and we're still top of the table. That's how I see it. I'm not going to turn around and slate the guy when he had a good game. I'm not saying we're going to win the league, but let's take game by game. Because the more points we get, teams got to catch us now. Jeremy, everyone forgets that Tottenham still got to play us. Tottenham still got to play Man City. Tottenham still got to play Chelsea. Still play Man United. Still got to play Liverpool. So you shouldn't worry about other teams. Because if we take points off the big boys, they're dropping points too. And the position we're in now, it ain't going to affect us. If we play Man City tomorrow and we draw with them, is it going to affect us? No. So I'm just looking at it, get the points in now, because when you do play them big boys, go there trying to win. If you can't win, get a draw. Then bring it back to the Emirates and try and win your home games. We can't have this. I'm not saying we're going to win the league. I'm just saying sometimes you got to be a bit positive, like what you're seeing today in last year. Last year, 3 games on a trot we lost. It was terrible. But this year, you've got to think, okay, you know what? 5 games in a row, top of the table. I'm not saying we're going to win the league, but just try and see okay, they're playing, they're coming together, they're working, because it's working. People can't go into no Arsenal fan can come and say to me right now that I shouldn't be confident going into Man United. Because if you're like, oh, okay, yeah, we respect our opponents, but if we beat them, I'll be like, I told you so. Because our team's on form. It ain't a derby. It ain't the same.
Here's the thing. Let me say this right now. Last season, we were so close to the Champions League, and there were so many fans who were singing that song about how Arteta knew exactly what he needed, and he put Nketiah in attack, and we thought we were going to go to the league. And they were ready to thumb their noses in our faces, telling us, I told you so, I told you so. And we know what happened. I'm just saying that if you want to be confident, that's fine by me. But you cannot in any way discount Manchester United the way you did. And before I stop speaking, let me say this. For you to say that we won't have any right to celebrate if Arsenal beat United and go on to do some great things this season, let me tell you right now, Arsenal belongs to all of us. It doesn't belong to you. It doesn't belong to me. It doesn't belong to the Arteta in fans. It doesn't belong to the Arteta out fans. It doesn't belong to any member of the board or any single player. It belongs to everyone, and we will celebrate when the club does. I will also say, if we do well, I will say that maybe I was wrong and maybe give Arteta a chance. Thank you very much indeed.
Back Arsenal then. Don't look. If I went to my United fan, I said, "Oh, I think you're gonna beat us," and we beat them, I look like a clown. Back your team. We're the most formed team in the Premier League. It shouldn't be a conversation saying to a thing. Because if we go in there and win, I don't think we're gonna win. I don't think. Why don't you think we're gonna beat Man United? The form with that now. Okay, we got things. Zinchenko hopefully he's fit for Sunday. Jamie. He could have been fit tonight, but they doubted it. They thought, let's rest him for Sunday. Don't risk him, did they? So if Zinchenko's fit and Partey's fit.
Boy, I just want to bring in Natstar here. What's the story, man? You've been sitting back chilling, having an L smoke. What's the crack?
Yeah, what's good, people? What's good? Big up yourself. Thanks for having me on, Del Boy. Yeah, like the whole game, I think it was a good game. Like, first half, we dominated, but I was thinking in my mind, like, it was almost a carbon copy of Fulham, but we just played a bit better. But again, even with the injuries, our first team anyway, for some reason, we can create those chances. But against the better teams, even when we play well, we will struggle if we don't put them away, because it invites the opposition to come back and, counter us, whatever, Villa, all they were looking for was quick on the break or one ball, for Ollie Watkins and whoever they have up front, Leon Bailey, to fucking, capitalise. And we can't rely on that, and in regards to like all the other injuries and all of that, look, the thing I've always questioned with this manager, even though he made a substitution before 75 minutes, big up Arteta, clip this, like as someone who's not a massive fan of Arteta and all of that. But at the same time, we will struggle this season because of the games that we've got now that we're back in Europe. We need that squad depth. Tottenham have a better squad depth. Even Aston Villa, especially in the midfield, have a better squad depth. I heard that Douglas Luiz cost 15 mil. Go get him. Go get him. We'll rip up Bellerin's contract. Whoever else needs to go on loan or leave, whatever. Do what you need to do. It is what it is. We'll start again like January and in the summer to reassess like the financial situation. But we need bodies in.
You're right.
We need bodies in, because when the crunch games come, and we're not even talking about like next year. Or I'm not talking about next year like just yet, because the whole we'll see in May. Yeah, in the bigger picture, of course. Like we'll see where this Arsenal team finish, but it's great so far. But when we've had injuries, and they were dropping like flies today, Ødegaard went off injured, Ben White earlier went off injured, Aaron Ramsdale pulled, it looks like he pulled his hammy. Now, if Aaron Ramsdale goes down, we are fucked. We are really well and truly fucked. You want Tina Turner in goal? I don't think so, mate. We should have kept Leno. I'm sorry, we made Fulham bet. Fulham might actually stay up because we gave them Leno. Let's be real. It's not the first time we've helped City build a dynasty. Now we're helping Fulham stay in the Premier League. It's the gift that keeps on giving. But anyway, like I digress on that. We need to just relax a little bit. Just relax. Yeah. Just chill. And then we'll see where we are in the future.
I'm in the same boat as you. Everyone just needs to fucking get a big fat one, chill out, and fucking relax. You know what I mean?
Take game by game.
No. This is what I was saying earlier on is we're all putting so much pressure on the players. We're worse than fucking like the media. We're expecting to win. We're expecting to go United. Just fucking relax. Let's see what happens. You know what I mean? Morris, what do you make of this? Like what Foyd is saying, like or Manny, like what's your sort of take on it?
Well, I still think, man, especially if Ramsdale gets injured, we definitely need another keeper, and we definitely need another striker, because we proved last season with Eddie there towards the end when we faltered. Let's not forget that he was the man leading the line for us, and the man we gave that big contract to. Now we kind of stitched him up in a way by getting Jesus in, but if Jesus and Ramsdale get injured, I think we're fucked totally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's what I think. And in regards to finishing in the top four and all that stuff, I don't really care about that. I just want to win trophies. Like, you give me an FA Cup over a top four any day. Like, the whole myth is you need the top four in the Champions League to attract these players. You don't. You need this money. That's all they fucking care about. It doesn't matter where we finish. We can still attract players. But I just want to see this team go on and win trophies and at least be respectable in the league this season. We've started off very well, but when we come up against those top six sides, especially away from home, that's when the crunch is going to come, and we'll just have to see how it goes.
Yeah. Central, what are you saying, man? Do you want to say anything there?
Yeah, so let's go back. I'll get back to the Ramsdale thing. I felt, man, he was holding his hamstring, man. Yeah. If that what's his name, Matt Turner plays on Sunday, we're fucked. It's like, why we're going?
I think it was cramp, boys. He said it was cramp, didn't he?
Hopefully,
it was cramp. It was the way he went down, didn't he? He had cramp in his leg. He was like rubbing it, saying he had cramp. That's why he called the guy to stretch it out.
The one thing I never get over the years, like our problem, like throughout how many years, 10 years, whatever. Our problem is not goalkeepers. People say, "Oh, we need a world-class goalkeeper. We need a world-class goalkeeper." No, we're not. We should have never got rid of Leno. I think, granted, Leno's not that. He ain't great. He's good, but not like great. But Matt Turner, Jesus Christ, he's probably like gonna be like worse than Almunia. Like, look at Almunia. Like, the man who cost us the Champions League. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Can I just sort of come in on the goalkeeping issue here? Now, Morris, you'll know it, like being an Irish fella, I was screaming out for Basuma because he was at Man City And if anyone should have known about him in the Premier League, it should have been Arteta. He should know how good he is. He's fucking unreal. He's playing for Ireland. He's the #1 keeper for Ireland. I've seen him live twice. He's fucking brilliant. He is going to be a top keeper. And I'd rather him than I call him Pat Turnip. You know what I mean? That's who I'd rather have him go. You know, but look, this is where we're at.
I think the only reason why the real notice, on the real note, real notice, the reason why they bought this American keeper is because he's massive in America in their league. Jamie, so he's good. That's why he's good. He sells tops. He's so fit. It's like when he went to, I don't know what team he come from, bro, but I was watching something in America, and he had the whole stadium come to see and say goodbye to him.
Right, yeah.
Do you get me? So why are you coming to Arsenal? You just, we're going to follow Arsenal because he's gone there. Because them Americans, they have drafts in their sports, innit? So to them, him drafting to Arsenal makes the American market stronger. That's why they bought him. They didn't bought him for no football reasons, it's for money reasons.
It's no good to the team, though.
Yeah, it's not good for the team.
It's not good for the team. Like, Manny, what's your take on it?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, obviously, we've all outlined the reasons why Turner's come in. I mean, he certainly isn't a mug in that sense of the word. He is, of course, one of the top keepers in America. Full international. He was, of course, their starting goalkeeper when they won the CONCACAF Gold Cup. I know that people will want to, dismiss that as a competition which is mainly dominated by the US and Mexico. But as Fuad himself would say, you can only play against the teams in front of you. And look, people can't simply just, base their opinions on Turner on one preseason game where he also, was thrust in and didn't really look too convincing. I would say that given his credentials, he's an improvement on Runarsson, who is now once again on loan. I don't think he'll be coming back. So I'm going to say right now that the EFL Cup games and the Europa League games will be a test of our squad depth. And I would like to see Arteta put some trust in Turner by giving him a few games. The biggest gripe I had with Arteta in 2020-2021 was, after buying Matt Ryan in, and even with Leno committing some dreadful mistakes, including the one against Everton where he literally, pushed that ball into the net, he wasn't even willing to give Ryan a chance in the Europa League semi-final because, you can't just have a goalkeeper in that poor form playing in a big game like that. And I thought his treatment of Matt Ryan was disgraceful because Ryan came in and actually did really well. And in fact, he played a role in saving a point for us against Fulham. It was his semi-assist which gave Eddie Nketiah the goal and enabled him to do that ridiculous phone celebration. And we've seen that far too many times now. So, look, Turner should be... We've got Turner right now. We can talk till the cows come home about how we should have kept Leno. Heck, I believe we should have kept Emiliano Martinez and sold Leno because despite, Martinez actually had a pretty decent game today. The first goal was probably, he was caught in two minds with a deflection, but he still could have perhaps done better. But he made some really important saves. We should have kept him instead of Leno. And we can go on and on about it. But we've got Ramsdale right now, and if he gets injured, we do have Turner. And so we need to give him a chance and believe in ourselves that, he is going to be better than Runarsson. He does have the credentials to play in the Premier League because he's already proven at an international level. I mean, we can diss what he's done, but we really can't. He will be in the World Cup. Whether he starts ahead of Stefan, I don't know. But look, let's give Turner a chance. That's all I'm saying. We cannot rush to judgment against him on the basis of one pretty poor game. And I think Del Boy, has he gone somewhere? I don't know.
Gone for a beer.
He'll be back. Yeah, he'll be back.
Yeah, he's back now. He's back. Because look, there's no crack without Del Boy. He's the bleeding story.
Yeah, look, come here. I have to shoot off because I'll tell you, I just have something to do. I have an emergency call here to do. But no, look, do you want to just, everyone, Manny, I'll just start with you. Shout out your socials there before we go.
Yeah, sadly no YouTube channel for me, but you can catch me on Twitter, Bangalore1981. You can catch me getting into some arguments with a few Arteta ins and me saying my piece and shutting them up for good. Napster knows all Morris, if you boys are rugby fans, you're going to love my exchange with this former England international named Andy Good, and Napster can back me up on this. That was a real... that was a
we should have recorded that. That should have been recorded. We went in.
No, we'll get our chance to go in. I mean, maybe if we get some more rugby fans, we will go in on him one day.
Yeah,
but,
I'm going to start channel soon, but
yeah. Instagram, you can catch me at Manny Thunder 1981. That's my full name and my year of birth. You can also catch me on YouTube on several channels, SBeatley TV, Oris Talks Football, a few appearances on Hannah's Coach Corner, and of course, arguably my favourite, Mr. Derek Healy himself, Del Boy Gunner TV. The real man.
Thanks a million.
Always a pleasure to come on. Thank you very much for having me as always. Love you to bits.
Cheers, mate. Thanks a million. Central, you want to shout out yours, mate? Your socials or anything?
Okay, sure. Okay, folks, subscribe to Central Man Network on YouTube. Sometimes I do football live streams. Also, I covered professional wrestling, and I do a lot of like reviews on superhero TV shows and movies, like in the DC and Marvel universe. And my channel's on 325 subscribers.
Get subscribing.
Subscribing, man.
Yeah, fair play to you. And another fella who does a bit of the old wrestling. He hasn't come up to Dublin yet to wrestle me, but when he's in Dublin, I'll fucking wrestle him. Is that fella Cheap Heats? What's the crack?
I'll wrestle you. I'm in Dublin on Sunday evening. I'll give you a shout. Unfortunately,
I'm out of town. Out of town.
No, I'm going to I'll go to Amsterdam for the weekend, man. So I'll kind of be off the grid for a while, but I'll be back into Dublin on Sunday.
Great stuff. Give the shout out on your channel anyway, man.
Yeah, GP Productions Podcast. Just bang that into YouTube. You'll see all sorts of weird stuff there, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, guys, I'm telling you now, it's fucking brilliant. He has the Tiger King, fucking your man bored off what you call it, fucking Judge Judy and stuff like that,
and a few porn stars.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You got tricked in one of them.
Yeah, I did, and I'll say nothing. Let everyone else get tricked as well. But Prince Floyd, do you want to give a shout out, mate?
Prince Floyd TV, one of the biggest controversies of all YouTube.
You're not fucking lying.
If I don't agree with anyone, I disagree with me.
Natster, what's the story? Do you want to give a shout out?
Oh yeah, 100%. Natster Official on Instagram, only on Instagram. I don't have Twitter, I don't have Snapchat. I don't have a YouTube channel yet, but I'm working on it. I make music, that's what I do. So I've got an EP called Natstrumentals. Just type in Natster, Natster, SoundCloud and Spotify. I'm on there. And more to come in the future, man. Thanks for having me on debut, as the Aussies would say. Big up to Aussie Gooner, Northside, who I've been on, and also Lee Gunner, where that's my claim to fame. And then obviously Stephen Feely as well. I've got to give a massive shout out to him. He's put me on quite a few times as well, more frequently than anyone else. So big up to him. Subscribe to him and the charity as well. He's doing a lot of great work. Subscribe to Del Boy, share, all of that shit as well. And more to come from me very, very, very soon. I'm going to be a very busy man. So onwards and upwards.
Yeah, fair play.
Top man.
And look, everyone, all welcome on my channel. Thanks a million for everyone in the comments as well, and all the guests who have come on. I really do appreciate it. I love doing this show, getting your guys' opinions and stuff like that, and sitting back relaxing. I'm going doing Daniel, the Blind Gunners. I'll be on his channel tomorrow. We're just going to have a few chats about transfers and all sort of stuff like that, and there'll be a lot more from myself as well coming in the next few days. Thanks a million to everyone that's tuned in, and please do hit the like, subscribe and share and all that shite. Take care everyone. God bless.